Men have rated what's the strangest boner you've ever had? When my wife and I got married, we got a bunch of money as wedding presents. We lived abroad and the wedding was in her home country. So people mostly gave cash rather than giving us gifts that we couldn't take with us. We got home after the wedding and counted all the cash, and I got a raging boner by the time we were done. Worth noting that the amount was more than we had in our name at that point. Airplane boners. Almost every time during takeoff, I have liftoff. Not sure if it's the sudden change in altitude or cabin pressure or what, but I pretty much expect it every time now. Every single day in grade 9 gym like clockwork. Didn't help I was in basketball shorts. AHH, the good old days of the tuck maneuver. If it's long enough, there's a depressing thought. You only need like 3 inches for that mayo. I used to get an erection just before I got off the bus to school every day for almost a year when I was about 14. It would have been super embarrassing, but fortunately my erection isn't especially difficult to hide. Anyone else get the crying wife/GF boner, or am I the only terrible person here? I get a boner anytime I'm in the vicinity of my wife. Me too. My girlfriend wench's just finished crying. I don't know why, but I think it's the way her eyes look when they're wet. Had to explain multiple times it's not over her crying. My husband is the same way. We call them sympathy boners. One time I hit my head hard and I got the hardest bone ever. Math class boners in high school. Will answer for my spouse, even though he might give a different answer. He went through a phase where he was really captivated by owls. We went to a bird park, unaware they had an entire indoor enclosure filled with different types of owls. It was dark and eerie inside, your eyes had to adjust, and the owls in different rooms sort of crept up on you. There were so many owls. Way more owls than he had dreamed of seeing that day. It probably took us half an hour to walk through. Needless to say, he was very moved. Strangest was probably when I had an intense workout session and got ready to go to bed after a shower. I was so exhausted and seriously didn't feel like jerking one off. So there I was, just lying there with a raging boner trying to sleep. It's not the worst or more embarrassing experience, but it was certainly strange that my dick was just like, now is my time to shine. I fucking hate those go away erection and let me sleep. Me, a straight male, was turned on by my male friend yelling and swearing at me while hitting me with a ball. I still think about it sometimes. Into BDSM. This one actually isn't that strange. Sounds like a kink. Adding on, I get turned on when I get swore at too. It's weird. In 7th standard we were reading reproduction in plants, and I got a boner. The teacher teaching was pretty hot, so that could be a reason. Don't lie, that pollen looks sexy AF, and you know it. Anytime a woman tells me she loves me or goes into some emotionally related tangent about her feelings for me, I get a massive hard on. Massive heart on. NSP. Hard boner. Not my boner obviously, but I was doing first aid training in swimming lessons and had to practice the Heimlich on an unconscious victim with a partner in front of the whole class, which includes straddling the victim. As I was doing this demonstration I realized I could feel my partner's fully erect penis rubbing on me. We were in bathing suits. I was mortified. I can't even imagine the horror this poor dude felt. Bathing suits increase boner chance by 400% in my experience. I've had to full on command my penis to de-escort more than a few times in a bathing suit. After being alone for years and barely having any human contact, I got a boner from a cat cuddling me and doing the kneading thing they do. It was completely involuntary reaction and I feel weird about it to this day. Got stung by a bee. I'm on the ground writhing in pain. Grab my EpiPen. Inject myself, get an instant boner. Boner lasts until I get to hospital. Apparently it's normal. I wasn't too thrilled. I know there's a spider whose bite gives you a painfully hard erection, and then you die. Every time I wear tight pants I get a boner. Could not explain the reason why. Maybe my own ass gets me excited. Church boners when I was in grade school. There were giant paintings on the ceiling with semi-nude cherubs and lots of women there in dresses and nylons. I still have a thing for nylons and dresses. Church and cherubs not anymore. So this probably happened when I was like 6 or 7 years old, not sure. But I definitely had no idea what sex was, etc. So, the church sermon had started, and I wanted to do what I always did, draw on the back of the church bulletin. So, I took the Psalter hymnal, the tiny pew pencil, the bulletin and tried to go to town. But no matter what, I couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't get the hymnal to sit on top of my lap. Seeing my frustration, my mom bent down and whispered to me, "What's the problem?" I whispered back, probably much louder than my parents would have liked, "My penis is hard and I can't get the book to sit in my lap right." Apostrophe. Slowly the look of dread washed over my mom's face, and then she had to pass this knowledge over to my father. Anyway, it probably went away 10-15 minutes later. Yeah. So that was probably the weirdest boner I've ever had. So apparently trazodone has a very rare, but potentially very serious side effect that the doctor probably won't mention. Well, it happened to me. Took one to go to sleep one night. Next morning I have morning wood. NBD. Except, it was still there when I got to work. 2 hours later. Still here. And it wasn't a normal boner. Only the shaft was hard. The tip was still totally soft. No way I could have had fun with it. It was just incredibly uncomfortable. Go to the doc takes a look. Refers me to go see a urologist at another hospital. Get to the other hospital. Urologist takes a look. I tell him I took trazodone. I wasn't the first one there that week for the same problem. Only way to fix it was to manually drain the blood out of the shaft. It was not pleasant. And there was a lot of blood. If I had waited longer to go to the they told me the blood could have clotted and caused permanent damage. Once me and my new girlfriend were sitting on the couch watching TV. I was not feeling very sexual or anything, just very relaxed. She had her leg over my leg, and I started playing with and touching her foot with a sock on. Next thing I know, I realize my dick is fully erect in a matter of seconds. That's the moment I learned I kinda like feet. My children's father would get one every time he sneezed. He was a sneeze 8XS in a few seconds person. Led to some comical situations and uncomfortable ones, I'm sure, for him. Edit. So apparently I should have put more personal information on Reddit. Anyways, I speak in past tense. Well, because he died. But you know, baby daddy and such is so cute. /s. My nipples get hard when I sneeze. I thought this was common, but when I mentioned it to someone was met with laughs. So I guess not. Question mark? Question mark? Went swimming in a river with best friend and his sister back in high school. Turns out there were lots of leeches, and we all had to check each other, and I ended up pulling leeches off of the side of my best friend's older sister's breasts. Somewhat understandable, but weird. So that's why you lost your medical license. At my grandmother's funeral, an attractive girl was wearing very tight khaki pants and I happened to notice her from behind. It didn't help that I quickly realized she was my first cousin. Anytime my wife is lounging in our house with her legs wide open, my penis thinks it's an open invitation even when it's not. The compass points north. Sorry, but you're giving me images of a dick that constantly points at a vagina wherever you move. No one will see this, so I'm not afraid of people judging me, lol. I get a boner whenever I play with Lego. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's not my sitting position. I'm bewildered by this. That dolphin copper pasta. I was like, what the duck is this shit? And more importantly, why am I kinda horny? Edit. Here's some r/eye bleach, because I know you dirty ducks are gonna go looking for it. Edit 2. I was reminded recently about a song I heard on Reddit made by a very small band a while ago. I wanted to tell them how much they changed my views on music, but I never had the opportunity and can no longer find their post. Now that this post is gaining traction, might as well give the band a little popularity boost. Everyone go listen to Colossal Rex on Spotify! Exclamation mark. The song I like most is Sear